Hello, PlayStation Portable. So let's start with my only Japanese game, and I technically own this game multiple ways because of this. I got this version first, Diabolic Lovers, Haunted Dark Bridal. This is the first game in the series. When you start the game, you get one version of the prologue, and you could choose from three characters: Ayato, Kanato, the guy holding the teddy bear, and Liato, the guy with the fedora. After you have chosen one of them and got an ending, I don't think it has to be the good ending. I think you can get one of their bad endings and still unlock this. You then have to play the prologue again, and at a certain point, it changes, and the other three become available: Subaru, Reiji, and Shu. So, I got them all lined up back here too. I don't remember how much I spent on importing this. I do know it wasn't too bad. I think it was like 40. But, you got the PSP thing, and then it has the booklet, which made me super excited because I wasn't sure if it had the booklet or not. Granted, the booklet is all in Japanese, and it's not like I got it translated. But it's still, to me, it's nice. And I like that it tells you what the theme songs are. It makes them easier to look up if you want to listen to them. The opening is Midnight Pleasure, and the ending is Parhelion Logic. I like that they do put English words occasionally. They are occasionally helpful. And it does warn you that you need 600 kilobytes of memory stick data space because there is a data installation. So it does tell you some stuff in English, which is helpful. I like how it says, for Japan only. You can play it on anything. The Vita was never region locked, which, I mean, that's the case with a lot of PlayStation systems. I've never checked about the 5, but I know 3 and 4, PSP, PS Vita, were all region free. Unfortunately, PS2 and PS1 were region locked for whatever reason. Alright, this is my English PSP visual novel. So this game, this is the first original iteration of it. Hakuoki, Demon of the Floating Blossom. This game technically got remade with extra content and was then released as Hakuoki Kyoto Winds and Hakuoki Edo Blossoms. Half the characters on each one, and additional characters and scenarios from what I understand. Dang, the case has I hate when the cases have like a missing thing to close it with. There's no booklet, unfortunately. And the case is kind of icky, but I got it for $24. And online, I think the cheapest I was seeing was like $50. So, I wanted to have the, the original version of the first game, just for comparison, mainly, and to play it in private by myself before I play the full version and stream it. Because I got the full version digitally on Steam. I don't know if there was any physical release of those. I don't think there was. I think those were both digital only for America. Yet again, for America. That's the problem with a lot of these games. But thankfully, Idea Factory and I don't know how to say their name. Axis, I guess. AKSYS. And can't really read it that well, but I'm pretty sure it's like Automatot or something like that. Those three companies, and apparently all three of them were involved with this one, do a good job of localizing a lot of the games, or try to anyways, when it comes to visual novels. A lot of my visual novels have one of those logos on them. Alright. Now, these are my only ones that don't have a case. You got... I can't even read it. Oh, Valkyria Chronicles 2. You got The Third Birthday. And you have Dissidia Final Fantasy. The first one, not the 012 one. I need to get that one still. This isn't a game. This is the only PSP movie I have. I didn't buy it. It was in my PSP when I bought it. And I said, sweet, free movie, Hellboy. I actually liked the movie Hellboy, so to me that was a win. I hate trying to close this stupid thing. Made for the PlayStation Portable, one of the stupidest, hardest things to close. Ew. I got something on it. I have no idea what in the world I got on it either. Ew. Got some white stuff on there. That's weird. Alright. Whatever. Who cares? What the... I don't know. Some tape got on here. Alrighty. Valkyrie Profile Lyneth. And apparently a sticker that hit its price. You shall never know. That's fine. That's because I didn't buy it at GameStop. I bought it at whoever puts these ridiculous stickers on them. Good thing. So the cover's reversible. It has a pretty little picture. And it has the booklet, which made me happy. So this is the first Valkyrie Profile game, but remade or remastered or whatever. It has new CG cinemas. Whatever. It just means that they animated the stuff better. And then the rest of it is not anything new for the game. So, whatever. The only thing they did was they redid the graphics, which can be considered a bad or good thing, depending on which you prefer, the original or this. Honestly, I never had the original PlayStation games. They're very expensive. So for me, this was a good find. I don't remember how much I paid for it, though. I just remember thinking it was a good deal. So, whatever. And Persona 3 Portable. So this is the only Persona game to date where you can play as a female. Because even the newest one, which they are going to have a DLC for to add what only FES had for all this time, meaning I don't have to track that down anymore. Yeah, so this is the first copy of Persona 3 I got my hands on. I did also buy Reload. I will be showing that off whenever I get to the PlayStation 5. So this only has the base game, you know, the standard endings that Persona 3 had. I think it has an additional ending if you choose to play as the female character, but I could be wrong. I don't remember 100% off the top of my head. I do know that some of the stuff changed from the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation Portable. This game honestly made things a little easier because in the PlayStation 2 version, you don't use menus to navigate. You physically run around like a lost person to get places. I prefer the menu thing. Some people prefer to be able to run around town. I feel like I would just be lost for so long, like I am in the other games whenever I play them. Yeah. I do like the reverse cover as an image of the Tartarus or the dungeon crawling area. So I definitely picked this up because I was like, yeah, that's better than trying to track down the PlayStation 2 versions. And then I found out about the epilogue. Found out about the epilogue, The Answer. Great name. And I was like, I want to see that. And then I recently saw on Twitter that in September it's coming out on Reload as a DLC, and I was like, yes, I will buy that DLC. And I can finally actually see 100% of the Persona 3 game. Okay, so Persona 2, Innocent Sin. This was in a box with a CD, but I put the CD away. I actually didn't mention whenever I was on the PlayStation 2, Artanoko 2 also had a CD, and I think an art book. I'm not 100% sure on the art book. But I saw the CD today, and I was like, oops. Anyways, because it came in that box, I paid a little more. I think it was like $60, but it came with the CD, and it basically was brand new despite being at a used game store. And, you know, you got your reverse cover art, you got your booklet. I was super excited for that. I don't care if that was overpaying at the time. I'd say nowadays it's probably worth it since it's not necessarily easy to find this. So there's two parts of Persona 2. This is the PSP version. There's another version on PlayStation 1 that accompanies this. I think you technically don't need to play them both because they do have pretty much the same storyline, kind of. In the long run, I'm going to play them both because I'm weird. So, I believe I got it through. It's either on my little emulation things or it's on PlayStation Network. I want to say I got it on PlayStation Network for like $6. And I believe it's like Eternal Punishment. Don't quote me on the name. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yes, the last chapter, Persona arrives. And it says it's sleek enhancements and expanded content. Persona 2 makes its long-awaited debut in North America. But the other one is in English too? Whatever. Who cares? Alrighty. Secret Agent Clank. Mainly from reviews online and videos. I grabbed this at some point. Despite being used, it looks brand new, which made me excited. Only thing I had to do was remove a sticker from the case, and you can't even tell. So, the store I got this from definitely did a good job about that. It has its booklet. I don't know what to say about that. I believe this is a PSP only game. Not like the other games which have like counterparts that are on other systems. I don't know. Get to play as Clank instead of Ratchet for once. Alright. So yeah. Unfortunately, there is the occasional case that is kind of lame, but it's a case. Whatever. It's better than fighting with another one of those things to hold the UMD discs. Alright, Prince of Persia Revelations. So, from what I understand, it's the same game as Two Crowns and as whatever the other name for it was. Because it was like basically released on like 3 systems. It was also on GameCube and it was also on PlayStation 2. I think it was on Xbox. And I think all 3 of them had different names for this game. And then it was re-released on PSP as Revelations. Because they're original. I just got the PSP version because that one was cheap as far as I was concerned. So this is a fun little rhythm game. Fun. Yeah. I didn't get very far with it because I'm sometimes apparently rhythm disabled. Great at DDR. Comes to rhythm, I don't know what I'm doing. Fumble, fumble. And we died. No. Actually, I beat, like, the first boss before I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm messing the rhythm up. And yet again, it It has its booklet in there. I'm not opening this. Yeah, it's just a fun little rhythm game. Ugh. Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Honestly, I don't even remember why I picked this up. I hadn't really played any Monster Hunter games before grabbing this. I didn't know anything about Monster Hunter when I grabbed this. But from what I can tell and what I've understood of this game so far, which I didn't play it very much because I suck, um, but based on online commentary and whatnot, this is actually one of the good Monster Hunter games. So, and there is a sequel, but I don't know if I'll bother with it since I'm terrible at Monster Hunter. I won't lie. I suck at playing Monster Hunter. It's just one of those games that, hey, I can play Monster Hunter on my PSP. I just was looking for games for the PSP at that point. Just, you know, stuff to fill the library. Lumines. As stupid as it is, I played the Vita version of the Vita Lumines game. I have this Lumines game. I did not play this game. Why? I don't know. I don't really have an excuse. But I ain't played it. Alright. Loco Roco 2. Now, I've not played this game because I haven't finished 1. So let's go on to 1. Loco Roco. I played... Jeez. Maybe 3 hours? I was having fun. I got stuck on one of the puzzles. And I bought Loco Roco 2 soon after that because I was at the store and saw it. And I was like, you know what? I like this game. I should get the sequel. I haven't finished it. I really don't have an excuse other than I don't play my PSP as much as I should. I'm blaming the Switch for that. The Switch is the main reason that Loco Roco 2 gets to sit around and eat dust. Alright, I still want to get the other one, because there were 2 PSP games of God of War. But I did get this one, Chains of Olympus. Now, I think the other one generally is favored by people. Generally, people prefer the other God of War game that was on the PSP. This is the one I found. I technically wanted to get them both. This is the only one I could find. And I played it 2 hours or so. I decided I kind of want to try to play the games in order. Not that I'm sure that it matters. I mean, you're a mad dude that goes and kills things. It doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, I kind of was like, I want to try to play the games in order. And then I put it on the shelf. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's God of War. It's what you expect from God of War. Alright. This is one of my more recent purchases. So, I don't actually know anything about this game. I got it on name alone. I got it because it's Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. And I was like, so what is this game? And they did one of those things that kind of irritates you. It's clear that they probably printed this cover, but whatever. I really don't care. Finding PSP games is sometimes hard. So, it looks like it's part mech, part shooter based on the back. And it talks about there's different handguns, rocket launchers, submachines. It also tells you could train and customize your Tacoma, add weapons and parts to enhance their abilities, hack into enemies or surveillance systems. So I was like, okay, well, obviously it's based off of the anime. Whether it's based off the movie or the show series, I don't really care. I've not actually finished watching the series. I watched most of the movie before I kind of got distracted and bored. Yeah, sometimes they talk a little too much, But I do like the concept. So I was like, I'll just get the game. I haven't really played it. I just kind of was like, I want it. Alright. Now onto something that I know is good, even though I haven't played it. Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions. So, wow, 20th anniversary. That's cool. So this is like a remake of Final Fantasy Tactics, from what I understand. There's new characters, new jobs, extra missions, and of course, new cinematics, because that's what they do. It has the booklet, it has the reverse thing. There's a piece of tape on here. Anyway, it's in relatively good shape outside of like the two pieces of tape that are on the case. Or they're on the cover. I'm not sure. Who cares? I got this mainly because at that time I didn't have any version of Final Fantasy Tactics. I since have gotten Final Fantasy Tactics on PlayStation Network, and Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is what it's called, I believe. On the Wii U eShop, saved onto a save drive thingy. I forget what those things are called. Anyway, yeah, this is the first version of getting it. I played through the prologue, and then I put it on a shelf because I'm terrible. I really don't remember why I picked this game up. I think I just grabbed it because I was like, hey, it's cheap. So, Dynasty Warriors, hack and slash, and you just beat stuff up continuously. My first time playing this, I did not know that's how these games play. You keep whacking the enemies like for 1,000,000 times. And promptly was overwhelmed and murdered. So, that was a fun experience of stupidity. Alright. Naturally, I bought this game. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. This game, oh gosh. I played it for so many hours. It's actually in my system. Because it was the last one I was playing on the PSP. It has its booklet, whatever. I don't know how many hours I put into this game. So, I've played through the game's story bits long enough to unlock the save screen majiggerblob, which unlocked my menu option to do optional combat missions. And then I did those. And then I played the story some more, unlocked more combat missions, and then was doing those. And there was like a ton of them that got unlocked for some reason. Like, after the first boss. I mean the first real boss, not the tutorial one at the beginning. That mech doesn't count as diddle. But the next one, the one that you get this awesome cutscene and get introduced to the Buster Sword. Let's see. I played all the way to... Man, I know I played this game a lot. I met Genesis. I met his clones. Heard some of the Loveless play thing and got completely confused by that and looked it up and read the entirety of Loveless in one sitting so that I would know what the hell he's talking about. Decided I still don't know what he's talking about and moved on from that. I know I was dealing with the Genesis clones. Angel had left. And Sephiroth had said some ominous shit that made no sense. And then I was on my own dealing with Genesis clones. That's all I remember. I remember fighting Angel. I remember fighting Genesis clones. That's what I remember being at. I think I had just met Cloud in the game, is where I was. I had just seen Cloud for the first time. He wasn't, like, important at that moment. I don't even know if he... actually gets important for a bit. I think they were just like, hey, here's Cloud. I was like, oh, there he is. Back to dealing with these Turk jerks. Yeah, I was just kind of was busy dealing with the Turks at the time, and I was like, I don't really care about you. Just go sit over on a rock somewhere. I ain't got time to tell you what to do. I gotta make Zach useful. And then I started doing those stupid side missions again because I was trying to stay on top of them, and there was just so many. And then I kind of got sidelined because something else came out, and I wanted to play it. So, ow, hit my nose. I didn't buy this. This was given to me by somebody I was friends with in high school. PSP Collection. It's PSP 1 and 2. It's actually a really good game. I don't remember why he was getting rid of his PSP games. He also gave me this game. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. As I mentioned whenever I talked about the Street Fighter collection on the Xbox One, I believe it was. Is either Xbox One or Xbox 360. I forgot. I've not really played any Street Fighter games. I mainly just kind of own them. I'll play them one of these days. And then this game, I bought it because Natsumi made it. So Natsumi made Harvest Moon games. And I was like, hey, might be a fun game. It's a very strategic game. So it is a strategy RPG through and through with dungeon crawling elements and random-ish unlockable characters and scenes. There's certain things you basically got to do to make them pop up. And from what I can tell, it just basically means getting good at the game and not sucking. Which basically means a lot of level grinding is what I learned. So yeah. You spend a fair amount of time just grinding levels and grinding money to grind levels. Because you can't adventure for free. Which is the first thing you find out in the game. You're like, what? What do you mean the adventure's not free? Oh man, that was hilarious and confusing all at the same time. I wish I could play that game on console and share it. It's one of those games that I was so sad it is portable only. If Adventures to Go ever gets re-released or remade, I'm on top of that because it is fun. It's confusing at first, but once you figure out what to do, it's one of my favorite RPGs to play. I was like, I like playing this, but it's on nothing else. So at some point, I do want to sit down and play through the entirety of it. I will do like my best to share everything I can on my blog as I play through it of my adventure and Adventures to Go. I'm not sure exactly what I'll share since some of it is kind of just grindy. Who cares? I'm just slapping bugs with my sword. Slapping more bugs with my sword. The stupid ass bug poisoned me. That's generally how the game played out. I'd be like, at some point, I would even mute the game because at some point I'd be like, I've heard the same sound for the last 3 hours as I ran in circles. I hear as I run through the grass. And then the background music just looping. I'm like, I can't. It's time. It's time to mute it. It's not that it's bad music. It's just after you've listened to it for so long, you're like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I need to listen to something else. And then I'll mute it and listen to something else until I finally find something new and interesting in the game. Which could take anywhere from 6 to 10 hours, depending on how much you need to level up for the next set of enemies. in order to take on the boss, because you have to defeat the boss in order to get things to move forward. You can't avoid it, unfortunately. Even though I wanted to, I was like, surely there's a way to progress without putting my character in danger. No, there's not. You have to do the dangerous thing. It is always dangerous. Chance of danger. More like 100% chance of danger. But it's worthwhile because it's how you progress and move forward and find more characters and stuff. Okay, well that's it for the PlayStation Portable. You got to even hear me ramble about a game I really like on the PlayStation Portable that I wish was on more stuff. There are other PlayStation Portable games I definitely want. I just ain't found them. Astonishia Story, Jeanne d'Arc, the other God of War game I think I mentioned, I forget the name of it. Because I got Chains of Olympus, I forget the name of the other one. That's going to drive me crazy. I can't remember it. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of PSP games that I still want to get. I tend to not spend as much money on them just because I can't stream them. But at some point, I am going to cave in and get the ones that I don't have that I want. And just play them and review them. That's a solution, right? Plus, I can blog about them as I play them. I mean, I can take pictures with my phone or something. That's the best I can do. Maybe one of these days, some of these games will get re-released on modern generation consoles. I don't even care if it's just the way they've been doing some of the PlayStation Classic games, as they call them, through the PlayStation Plus servers thing. That's fine. I just want to be able to play the games. And it'd be cool to play it that way, because then I can play it on the PlayStation 5 and actually stream it. They had a few portable games, just nothing I cared about. There was like some Stardust shooty game. I don't care. So, time will tell with that. Alright. Until next time. Bye.